Well, this is the village of Morey-Saint-Denis on the Côte de Nuit, and this is Clos de Tart, and we're here to speak to Jacques Devauges, who's taken over the reins of this famous estate. Go in and see him now. How would you describe Clos de Tart then?
Clos de Tart in terms of style of wine, you mean? Alors, Clos de Tart to me have a very strong identity. To me, it's a wine with two influences, which are quite opposite, but you find them on the same glass of wine. The first tendency, the first typical thing about Clos de Tart, it is that you see here we are touching Chambolle-Musigny. We can see the church of Chambolle from here. So we are influenced by Chambolle, and we have always this finesse, this elegance, this delicacy, which is typical of Clos de Tart. The other part of the personality of Clos de Tart, it is the richness, the power, the level of complexity. This is because, once again, we own a monopoly, 7.53 hectares, and we have this complexity of soil, and with the Pinot Noir, which is so sensitive, we express that in our wines. And it's not because we are smart winemakers, it's just because we are very lucky to have all those different geology. And to me, this is what makes Clos de Tart a little bit particular. It's because on the same glass of wine, you have the finesse, the delicacy from Chambolle, and the large profile and the complexity from all our different geology. I think the main reason why Grand Cru is a Grand Cru is because people were not starting like we do now with scientific approach and trying to find by the science the reason why it is so good. They took the problem the other way. They were growing grapes, making wines, and they have noticed that those particular places, very well delimited since centuries in Burgundy, were producing better wines than on other places. And today, with our scientific spirit, which is very nice, of course, we try to explain, but we are still working on it. It is the largest Grand Cru monopoly. You know, in Burgundy you have 33 Grand Crus. In between those 33 Grand Crus, only 5 are classified as monopoles. Clos de Tart is the largest one, but in fact Clos de Tart is not a large Grand Cru because our neighbor Clos des Lambrais is 8.6, is bigger than us. And south, our neighbor is Les Bonnes-Mares, it's 15 hectares, it's twice bigger than Clos de Tart. But Clos de Tart with 7.53 hectares is the largest Grand Cru monopoly.
And you take the vineyard and you actually make several different cuvées, and then you blend them, or some of the wines.
Yes.
Can you tell us what the reasoning is behind that?
There is a lot to say about that. First of all, I would say that it's a great privilege to be on a monopolistic situation that allow us to make different tanks according to the two different factors. The first factor is the age of the vines. So all the youngest vines of Clos de Tart goes into one tank. This is one thing. But we have a very small amount of young vines because here the age of the vines is 60 years old. So the other factors that we use to decide which grapes goes into which tank, it is the geology, that means the mother rock, and after the pedology, which is the dirt, the kind of dirt we have. So according to the different plots we have, the sub-parcels we have, we identify 27 different plots here in Clos de Tart. So according to that, we decide to put those kind of grapes or those kind of grapes, this location or this location into one tank and ferment it separately. Because it makes sense, because the terroir is a little bit different, and with Pinot Noir, which is so sensitive to the condition of soil, the Pinot will express different sensibility inside the Clos de Tart. And we can do it because we are in a position of monopoly.
So in a way that gives you an advantage, doesn't it, over people who may have just a strip of a Grand Cru?
Absolutely, I think. Alors, it's an advantage, but you know, Burgundy is well done because even the people that have small parcels, most of the time, they have parcel from bottom to top of the hill. So like that, even from a small parcel, they have different composition, so they can have this complexity of geology.